Hello, friends, and welcome back to r/IDontWorkHereLady. And our first story today is about a crazy lady who behaved inadequately and had consequences. But before we start, I hope you've already subscribed to the channel so you don't miss any new videos, and let the story begin. Crazy lady tries to bean me with a can of veggies, ends up in a psych cell. I work as a nurse at the local jail. This plays a role later. On to our cast introduction. Me, obviously. CK is Crazy Karen. SLOL is Sweet Little Old Lady. LEO is Law Enforcement Officer. And my favorite two-leg pussycats, RN, Change Nurse, Shift Boss. I took it upon myself to hit the nearby supermarket during my lunch break to pick up some stuff to go with the chef salad I made. I love salad, y'all. Yep, I'm Southern. Feel free to pick fun if you want. The place isn't big, but it's always clean and the staff's always nice. So I head down the aisle, a split of crackers and cookies and bottled drinks. I go down about halfway when I notice SLOL struggling to reach something over her head. I'd say she's 5 feet tall, so I stop and ask her if I can help. I'm 5'10", so there's not a lot that's out of my reach. She points out her item, I grab it for her, and she thanks me for the help. I tell her my mom is about her size, so I'm used to it, and I'm just glad she wasn't stuck waiting for too long for help. Right about then, I hear it. Dun, dun, dun. Crazy Karen. CK. Now that you're done bullcrapping with that old bag, you need to put these water cases in my cart. Me, turning to look at her. I'm sorry, ma'am. I don't work here. I just stopped to help SLOL. CK. I don't want to hear your excuses. Do your job. Me, motioning to my scrubs. Seriously, I don't work here, and I started to walk away. CK grabbed my arm to stop me, digging her nails into my arm. CK, do your effing job now. I snatched my arm away. Me, lady, if you ever touch me again, I will end you. Again, I don't work here. Go find an associate to do that. I take a few steps and see a damn can fly by my head. Cue demonic possession Karen mode. I turn around to see this psycho wielding another can of veggies that she chucks at me as hard as she can, missed again, thank God, all the while screaming about how lazy and incompetent I am and that she's going to have my job. Mind you, I'm backing further away when a cashier who can see down the aisle from the register runs in our direction, and another apparently called the cops. CK continued to yell and throw items not only at me but at the staff that's starting to accumulate around us. Nothing she is saying is making any sense. Finally, LEO makes it to the scene, attempts to calm the woman, and of course ends up putting her in cuffs, during which she screams, assaults, and tries to bite the guy. Staff and SLOL all give statements about the incident. SLOL was a little shaken but unharmed, as she ended up behind CK after she grabbed me. Once he has her under control, I check out and head back to work. I stop in medical to tell the RN about CK and that she'll need to book her in for me. I clean the nail marks on my arm and we head back to the booking. It took some time for them to show up. Apparently, after she was in the cruiser, she began to yell about her kid being in her car, an 8-year-old. The child's father was called. We're all standing in booking when the exterior door slides open and in comes LEO with CK in tow, still acting a fool. The booking process, medically speaking, is pretty quick. Vitals, a few questions. You have any health problems? You on any medications? CK, eyes locked on me. What the F is that B word doing here? LEO, she works here. CK, take these effing cuffs off me. I'm going to break that raggedy B word. The RN tells me to go into the office, then attempts to perform the booking assessment. CK pretty much ignoring the questions and cursing at the RN, yelling about killing me when she gets her hands free. To this, the RN says to the officers, yep, she appears to be homicidal by her own admission. She needs to go to self-harm observation. CK was charged for assault, endangerment, assault on LEO, and illegal substances. She was placed in a psych cell with nothing but a turtle suit for the weekend. Upside of this situation, the father of the child called me earlier this week to thank me because he's been trying to get custody of the child and with this arrest has a good shot to take her on and give her some normalcy. I'm glad something good came of all this. Crazy lady wants you to do her job. She finds out about what it is. She ain't gonna like it. And our next story. Don't want to listen to me when I say I don't work here? Fine, I'll go check the back for you. So this story's a few years old, but it's so perfect for this sub. I hope you all enjoy it. So from when I was about 16 until I was 19 years old, I worked at a regional grocery store, doing almost everything. Carts, cashiering, clerk, produce, etc. The store's thing is that they don't carry a bunch of different brands, just about 2 or 3 brands, one being their own of each item, and for some of the bigger items, they just put them out on pallets instead of stocking shelves. This allows them to have significantly lower prices than other grocery stores. As such, the store tends to attract some pretty scummy people. Think Walmart shoppers, no manners, entitled, etc. Anyway, the managers were pretty cool, and I formed a nice relationship with them. Additionally, one of my best friends worked there with me. As I moved on from the job, left on good terms, he stayed there and worked up the ladder to assistant manager. Proud of him. Fast forward about 2 years from when I stopped working there. I still do my grocery shopping there and go in to pick up miscellaneous items as needed. Like I said, I had a good relationship with the managers, and my best friend was now an assistant manager, so I felt pretty relaxed in there. Well, one day I was in the store picking up something I needed. I was wearing gray sweatpants and a black hoodie. Employees dress in black pants and white shirts with blue aprons, so I'm not sure how anyone could think I worked there. But this woman, who was next to me in the aisle, thought that I did, and had made up her mind that, in fact, I did work there. Let's call her Janet. Janet. Hey you. Me. Looking up from the product I was holding, a bit shocked. Me? Janet. Well, duh. There's no more X brand of Y product on the shelf. Go see if there's some more in the back. Yeah, didn't ask me if I could go check. Told me to go check. Me. Ma'am, I don't work. Janet. Look, I need this particular brand, so you go check the back for me. Me. Ma'am, as I was saying, I don't work here. Janet, as if she just completely ignored me. Just go check in the back for me before I get your manager. In the most self-righteous, condescending tone you can imagine. All right, Janet, let's play a game. Me. Okay, I'll go check. Just make sure you stay right here so I can find you afterwards. Janet was very satisfied with her snobby self and said, "Thank you." This is where my good relationship with the managers and my best friend being an assistant manager finally played out. With her watching, I walked into the back just like I worked there and was going to look for her product. Once out of sight, I simply walked around to the second entrance to the back of the store, leaving her at the first entrance waiting for me. First and second entrances were around the corner from each other, so you couldn't see one from the other. I grabbed my item and went to check out, hoping she would stand there all day waiting. It was quite busy, so I waited in line for probably 15 to 20 minutes, and as I was about to be up, I saw her storming to the front looking for a manager. Well, my best friend was working at the time. I'd already said hi to him and told him what happened, so he was ready. She runs up to him, furious that an employee just deserted her, and starts ranting about what happened. She sees me in line and points at me while furiously talking at my friend, the manager. My friend remains completely calm and collected, having to deal with these sorts of people on a regular basis, and lets her rant for as long as she'll go. Once she finally stops to give my friend a chance to talk, I see him mouth to her that I don't work here. The most amazing expression dawned on her face. Anger, embarrassment, and shame as she realized she just got played and made a scene. She quietly got back in line and didn't cause any more trouble. She did give me the death stare, though, which I responded to with a hearty chuckle. My friend and I still have a good laugh about it to this day. I love how she gets pissy at you because she was wrong. When she realized the situation, you should have yelled, "Told you I didn't work here." And our next story. How many times do I have to tell you I'm not a student? So I work a lot of different jobs in deaf and special ed. This causes me to change schools a lot depending on where I'm needed. I'm 20, so I'm considered a substitute and have a badge and everything, but I still look super young. I'm normally used to the staff confusing me for a student, but this is my favorite story by far. This happened at the beginning of the school year. I took a 20-day position at a 9th and 10th grade high school taking in data on one of the special ed kids in the mainstream program. He's very high-functioning and doesn't look like the special ed kids that you've probably seen in your normal high schools, but due to some incidents, I was called in to keep tabs on his behavior. To avoid confusion, my boss sent emails to all of his teachers letting them know I'd be coming in to observe and not make a big deal of it since I'd just be sitting in the corner with a notebook. Now the main story. On the first day of school, I follow my student to his English class. This was later in the day, so I was used to his teachers knowing why I was there until this particular teacher. I walk in and do my normal greeting. Hi, I'm Monastery Guide and I'll be observing your class for a while. We tried to make the student feel like I wasn't there just for him. Long story. And she just laughs and says, "Okay, here you go," and hands me a pencil and the syllabus. Confused, I tell her that I won't be needing this since I came prepared with my own pen and notebook, but she insists that I'll need it. Pencil was so students couldn't say they forgot a pencil. I'm not sure how to respond, considering my bright gold sub badge is on my frocket, clearly visible. So I just ask where I can sit to be out of the way. She giggles and says, "Anywhere's fine," so I found a stool on the wall of the classroom and got comfortable. The students offered me a desk because they thought I was a student, but I just told them I was a teacher, and they accepted it. The teacher comes back in the room and just laughs at me. She laughed. I hate that. I was so done. "Listen, sweetie, I need to teach, so just find a desk like the other students." I tried to stay calm and pointed to my badge. "Okay, I'll sit, but I'm not a student. I'm observing the class." I thought she would get it then, but she tuned me out, I suppose, because it wasn't until the students kept telling her that it finally clicked. She didn't say anything until the end of the class, and it was one of those half-hearted apologies like it was my fault she didn't understand. I didn't come back when they offered to extend my work. Me and that teacher had a lot of problems. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video to the end, and I'll see you in the next one.